In the quiet village of Maidstone, one homeowner's decision to sell his property has ignited fierce controversy. Perry Mason, 64, is poised to sell his house to a developer, paving the way for a massive 62-home estate, but his neighbors aren't happy. With tempers flaring, Mason finds himself isolated in his own community, accused of betraying the village, yet he's unfazed by the backlash. Perry Mason's choice to accept a lucrative offer from developer Ale Homes has thrust him into the spotlight, transforming him into the village's most contentious figure. Ale Homes is eager to purchase Mason's property, which serves as a critical access point for their long-delayed housing project. While the developers have faced significant resistance over the years, Mason sees nothing but opportunity in the deal. Having paid £40,000 for his home 24 years ago, the offer he received has far surpassed its original value, leading Mason to feel as though he's in a win-win situation. Whether or not the development goes through, Mason is content. He can either sell his home for a handsome profit or retain it, knowing that the land's value will only continue to rise. Despite Mason's personal satisfaction, the situation has caused a rift with his neighbors, many of whom have voiced their anger, some even resorting to verbal abuse. For the villagers, the planned development represents a threat to their community, with concerns about noise, traffic congestion, and the encroachment on nearby green belt land. The development has been mired in controversy since planning permission was initially granted 5 years ago, with locals objecting to the scale and environmental impact of the project. Ale Homes' argument that they made a material start by laying a small strip of curb 4 days before their construction deadline has done little to ease tensions. For residents like social worker Ife Okoye and driving instructor Gavin Williams, the development would bring chaos to their quiet streets, creating traffic nightmares and environmental degradation. Mason, however, is indifferent to their concerns, claiming that the villagers should have anticipated the possibility of homes being built when they moved in next to open land. He dismisses their protests, saying they had ample time to research the situation and could have predicted the future development. To Mason, the backlash is little more than an inevitable part of progress, and he remains focused on his own financial interests. "They would all do exactly the same as me," he stated, confident that his decision to look after number one is justified, regardless of the ire it has sparked among his neighbors. As the dispute rages on, Ale Homes has submitted a fresh application to the council, seeking a certificate of lawfulness for their project. If granted, they would avoid the need to reapply for planning permission, a move that has only further inflamed local opposition. Residents argue that the developers should be held accountable for the delays and the impact the construction will have on their quality of life. Lynn Dawson, an accountant who lives nearby, has voiced her opposition, stating that the plans are shrouded in uncertainty, while other locals like Gavin Williams fear that the development will ruin the area entirely. While Perry Mason stands firm in his decision, the battle between developers and villagers continues to escalate. The future of the Maidstone estate remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: Mason has no regrets. As the community around him grapples with the consequences of the development, he remains focused on securing his own future, leaving the rest to fate. In the end, his willingness to sell may reshape the village forever, for better or worse.